Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. This is Sassy Love Tarot. In today's reading, we're asking Spirit for guidance and advice on your current situation. So if you're choosing between two options, in this case, I'm just gonna name them as option A and option B, then this reading might be for you. So the way this is gonna work is that for each option, I would draw different tarot cards to figure out what kind of opportunities, what kind of challenges, and what kind of outcomes you can expect if you were to choose that option. And I will do that for both option A and option B. And before we wrap up, I'll pull out more oracle cards to see if Spirit has any additional guidance and or advice for you to wrap things up. Now, if that sounds good to you, then let's get through to each of your options. Option number 1 here corresponds to the Mentor card along with this piece of opalite. Option number 2 here corresponds to the Wow card along with this piece of yellow aventurine. Option number 3 here corresponds to the Destroyer card along with this piece of amethyst. And option number 4 here corresponds to the Kairos card along with this piece of sodalite. Now, as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to before scrolling down to the description box to find the corresponding timestamps to be fast forwarded to your readings. And as always, I do keep my shuffling process on camera. So if you are open to sharing your energy with me, please do find the timestamps down below in the description box as well. With all that being said, let's get through to each of your readings. Hey loves, if you have chosen the Mentor card along with this piece of opalite, then this is going to be the shuffling process for you. Welcome. Well, first off, I just want to say thank you for sharing your energy with me. I really appreciate your presence. As I always say, I keep my shuffling process on camera just so that I can have some extra time to ground myself and to really immerse myself into your group's energy. So I just really appreciate you being here with me for this process. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, I'm going to be pulling different tarot cards for each of your options. In this case, option A versus option B. To figure out what kind of opportunities, challenges, and outcomes would become available to you if you were to choose that specific option. Now let's start off with option A. So Spirit, for my dear group number 1, if they were to choose option A, what would be their opportunities if they were to choose option A in this case? Please, Spirit, if my group number 1 were to choose option A, oops. All right, we have 2 cards coming out for the opportunities. Let's put them right there. And how about challenges? What kind of challenges would they be facing if they were to choose option A in this current situation? Please, Spirit. Oops. We got 1 here. Let's take another. Okay. All right. And how about the potential outcomes? What outcomes should they expect? Should my dear group number 1 expect if they were to choose option A? Please, Spirit. And 1 more card, please. Can I get 1 more? Oops. There we go. We got 1 more. Let's see if this will all fit. Yeah, I think, yeah, they kind of fit. All right. Now let's go ahead with option B. So if my group number 1 were to choose option B in this case, what would be their opportunities, please, Spirit? What would be the opportunities for my dear group number 1 if they were to choose option B in this case. What would be their opportunities if they were to choose option B in this case? Oops. Let's get one more for opportunities. All right, well, I'm just gonna take this one. How about for the challenges? What kind of challenges would my group number one be facing if they choose option B? All right, there we go. We got one. Let's get another. So challenges. All right, and last but not least, the outcomes. What would be the potential outcome if my dear group number one were to choose option B? All right, so I think that's everything shuffled and laid out. Now, as you can see here, my dear group number one, all your cards are ready to go. Now let's dive right into your reading. Hi, my dear group number one. If you have chosen the mentor card along with this piece of opalite, then this is going to be the reading portion for you. Welcome. Well, first off, let's talk about the card that you guys were drawn to at the very beginning, the mentor. So this is a card that instantly rings a bell for me, in a sense that I feel like you are trying to actively learn something or teach someone something. So there's like a teacher-student relationship kind of going on. Like it could be literally or it could be metaphorically. So I feel like this situation involves not just you, but another party as well. And that's what makes this decision even more difficult, because it doesn't just involve you, it also involves a different party. And in this case, I feel called to say that this might be another person. And as I was saying that, I could feel that shivers just like run across my spine. And I feel like that's a really strong confirmation. So for those of you who are trying to resolve a certain situation with another person, then this might be the reading for you, and keep on watching. Now let's take a look at your option A. So option A, for the opportunities, we have the Two of Cups with the Two of Pentacles. For challenges, we have the King of Cups, as well as the Judgment card. And for the result of option A, we have the Chariot, as well as the Page of Swords. Let's make sure they're all in frame. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's take a look at the opportunities first. So I definitely, okay, I'm not sure if this is an actual teacher-student relationship, but let's just say that there's definitely relationship-y vibes going on here in this group. My dear group number one, if you're asking about a relationship with someone, whether that's a romantic relationship or a platonic connection, doesn't really matter, but I could definitely see that if you were to choose option A, the opportunity for you is to gain a really balanced, happy connection with this other person that you have in mind. With the Two of Cups here coming out in the upright, along with the Two of Pentacles, I could feel that there is a really strong, powerful energy of just balance and happiness. And I feel like you're almost, well, we haven't seen the cards for option B yet, but I definitely think that option A seems to be a very positive option in terms of the opportunities that it entails here in the cards. With the Two of Pentacles as well, I feel like this is not just about the connection, it's also about your personal growth. So Two of Pentacles, this is someone who is really good at sorting out their priorities. And I feel like in this case, this might be you, my dear group number one. This might be you balancing out different priorities in your life. And it might even be you trying to balance this particular connection or relationship versus other priorities in your life, such as your job, your family, or your friends, if this is a romantic partnership. But obviously, if it's not, even if you're just asking about whether you should go work for this company, I definitely think that option A means that there is going to be a really positive result if you were to choose. Well, I'm not sure what option A is for you exactly, but I feel like there's a very strong partnership vibe in option A, and that's going to be your opportunities. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of your opportunity in option A. And it's interesting how, like, we asked for challenges, but we got really positive cards for challenges as well. We got King of Cups and the Judgment card for challenges. And whenever I see Judgment, the word that pops up in my head is renewal. So if this is indeed about a connection, whether that's with another person or perhaps with an organization, I feel like the challenge for you is not to repeat the same mistakes that you might have made in your previous connections. So, and with the King of Cups here, this is someone who's really in touch with their own emotions, who is very calm in all sorts of situations. And I feel like for you, the challenge here in option A is to remain calm and steady throughout the ups and downs, the highs and lows. You might be prone to worries. Sometimes you might be an overthinker. And I feel like for you to choose option A is to really let yourself in touch with your own emotions. Let yourself be in touch with your own emotions and feel yourself more in tune with your intuition. Because, like, when we look at the imagery of this card, we see this person closing their physical eyes, but it seems like they're meditating. So I feel like you're being called to get more in touch with your inner feelings and close your physical eyes, but let your third eye be open. And that's going to be a challenge for you. It's like trusting the universe, trusting that things are going to turn out just fine. Trust that there is a new beginning waiting for you. That's going to be a challenge for you if you were to choose option A. So yeah, I definitely think it's interesting how we got very positive upright cards for challenges as well. So I feel like this is almost one of those situations where you wouldn't let yourself have the good thing because you might be a little bit over worried. You might be overthinking. And it might be a little bit difficult for you to let yourself have that good thing, that connection with this other party, with this other person or organization. And it is possible that you might be held back by your past experience. So if you're asking about a romantic relationship, it is possible that you might have had you might have experienced betrayals, you might have experienced heartbreaks in your past relationships. And that's why the challenge here is to keep yourself open to new possibilities. The challenge here is to really refrain from letting the old wounds hold you back, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of the challenges if you were to choose option A. And in terms of the outcome, definitely super positive outcomes here. We have the Chariot coming out in the upright. We have the Page of Swords coming out in the upright. I feel like at the beginning I was talking about like there is this teacher-student dynamic kind of going on. Page of Swords often reminds me of a student. So in terms of archetypes, I feel like Page of Swords is someone who is really eager to learn, who's really open to learning new things that would open up their mind. And I feel like with this mentor card here, like Page of Swords, this might be a card talking about your state of being if you were to choose option A. So you might be allowing yourself to be open to receiving new knowledge and new experience. So you're allowing yourself the opportunity to learn about this new thing, step into this new experience. And essentially, the situation, in terms of the archetype, we might consider the whole situation as a mentor, or we might consider the other party involved in the situation as your mentor. You're learning something from them. You're allowing yourself to embrace the situation. You're allowing yourself to learn from the situation. And that's what I'm seeing here. Now, with the Chariot, this is also talking about balance. I think it's interesting how we have the Two of Pentacles here as your opportunity and we have the Chariot here as your outcome, because both of these cards can talk about balancing out yin and yang, balancing your different priorities. And the Chariot is when you are entering into that state of balance, you can then have victory on your side. You can then have your desired outcome. And the Chariot here is really kind of like a green light for you. If you're thinking about choosing option A, I definitely think the result is going to be very positive. And if you're trying to manifest something into the situation, if you're trying to manifest a specific result, I feel like this is Spirit confirming that option A would lead to your desired outcome. And that's what I'm seeing here in terms of the potential outcomes for you, my dear group number one, if you were to choose option A. So that's what I see for option A. And now let's take a look at option B. So for option B here, if we were to choose option B, the opportunities are Five of Swords in reverse and the Four of Swords in reverse. Interesting. So both swords card. I feel like this is a very, option B gives a completely different energy because there is definitely more syncing involved. There's more like intellectual elements coming on when we're talking about option B here. So with the Five of Swords reverse, there might be an opportunity for you to resolve a conflict with this other party that you are asking about. And with the Four of Swords in reverse as an opportunity, I feel like this is you kind of starting up the conversation and getting out of stagnancy. I can't quite place my finger on what it is exactly for option B because I'm not sure about what situations you're asking about, but I feel like there is I'm hearing passive aggressive. So like there's a little bit of a passive aggressive energy coming off here from option B. So I'm not sure what you are thinking as your option B here, but it seems like the opportunity here is really for you to get out of your own head, to lay things out on paper. I think there is a potential opportunity for you to start up the dialogue somehow. But I also feel like there is a kind of like a loneliness that's coming through with option B. So it's almost like if option A is like more collaborative, and I could see the option benefiting not just you, but also the other party, I feel like option B is really more intrinsic. It is something that's a little bit more quiet, and I'm hearing the ball is in your court. So I don't know if this is a no contact situation, but if it is, I feel like option B is like there is like self-contradictory energies in option B. That's what I'm seeing. So it's like you are wanting to end the situation, but you're not sure what you have to say is going to help or not. That's what I'm seeing for option B here. It's interesting. But I do think there is an opportunity for something to be resolved, even just your inner conflict. Like there is an opportunity for you to resolve something, that's for sure. There is an opportunity for you to get out of the current situation if you want to, if you so choose, with option B. Now, let's take a look at the challenges in option B. So we have the King of Cups in reverse and the Two of Wands. Oh my gosh, wow. That's so interesting. We have the King of Wands, the King of Cups. We have the King of Cups again. And so I definitely think that getting in touch with your own emotions and not letting your emotions run wild is a consistent challenge throughout both options. And I feel like with option A is more about you being in touch with your emotions and trusting your intuition, trusting your emotions more, knowing that your emotions are trying to tell you something and treating them as information. I feel like with option B here, it's like emotions overload. There is an overwhelming amount of emotions. And the challenge here for you is to stay by the book, is to stick with your own guns. It's to stick to your own guns. It's to stick with your own plans. That's what I'm seeing. So with the Two of Wands, this is a card that often makes me think about planning, especially long-term plans. And I feel like with option B here, the challenge is that you might let your emotions run wild to the point where you can no longer see clearly the situation in front of you, to the point where you cannot hold on to your planning, which you have meticulously done for a very long time, and now you're throwing it all away. There is a danger of you throwing it all away if you were to choose option B. And with the King of Cups in reverse, there is also a possibility that you might just completely cut off your connection with your emotions as well. It is possible that you are totally shutting yourself down, that you are really just getting into your own head about the situation. And instead of communicating with compassion, you might also do it in a very, you might be playing it too by the books, if that's even the right term. But essentially, there is a possibility for you to go a little bit too overboard with the intellectuals, with how intellectual you want the conversation to play out, and to the point where you might seem almost just ignorant of your own feelings, of another person's feelings in this case as well, if there is another person involved in the situation that you're asking. So that's what I'm seeing here in terms of the challenges for option B. Now, let's take another look at the results. So the potential outcomes of option B is the Five of Cups in reverse and the Ace of Cups in reverse. So I'm hearing you are trying to avoid heartbreaks. And for you to choose option B here, you might be successful in avoiding a heartbreak. You might be successful in terms of manifesting personal healing. But I'm also hearing that you're really holding on to something. You're holding on to something that you're not willing to let go of. And I feel like choosing option B would just, I don't want to use the word enable because there's a negative connotation to it, but I feel like, yeah, there is a negative connotation to this because you're like holding on to something to the point where it's a little bit borderline unhealthy. And choosing option B would just keep enabling you to do that. And with the Ace of Cups in reverse, this is kind of you letting go of a new opportunity as well. So if you were to choose option B, it is very possible that you might be letting go of a new opportunity. And especially if this has something to do with a romantic relationship, because Ace of Cups, if we're talking about romantic relationships here, this might be a new offer from a new person or a new offer from a current person. And I feel like by choosing option B, you are essentially letting go of that new possibility, of that new opportunity for you to embark on a new journey, for you to experience something new. Whereas option A here, we see you have the Chariot, and that's really a green light from the universe. So I feel like maybe for some of you, you have already pretty much decided that you're going to choose option A and you just need extra confirmation. And if that's the case, I definitely hear a resounding yes to whatever question that you're asking. And for those of you who are genuinely kind of in between option A and option B, at least I don't know anything about your situation, so just take it if it resonates. If it doesn't, just let it go. It's not meant for you. But what I'm seeing here from the cards, it seems that option A is going to get you somewhere that you want to be. Option A seems to be the way to go if there is something that you're trying to manifest actively. And option A is the way for you to bring that thing into materialization. Whereas option B seems to be something that will let you off the hook it will just keep you in the same spot instead of propelling you to move forward, to learn from the situation. I feel like you're really stunting your own growth if you were to choose option B here. And yeah, like speaking of growth, like with the Two of Wands coming out here as a challenge, because Two of Wands, this is planning, this is getting prepared for the big journey ahead kind of energy. And I feel like for you, it's going to be a challenge for you if you were to choose option B in terms of how you're going to grow out of the situation, how you're going to let yourself expand. So there seems to be somewhat of a restriction placed on you if you were to choose option B. And that's what I'm seeing here, my dear group number 1. So I think that's all the messages that I have for you in terms of your option A versus your option B. And before we go here, I'm going to shuffle another Oracle deck to see if Spirit has any additional guidance and or advice for you. So Spirit, what additional guidance and or advice do you have for my dear group number 1? All right, so we have, I live in the paradise of my own creation. Okay, so definitely a very encouraging message in terms of you manifesting the reality that you want. We have, I silence my mind and listen intently. Yeah, I think this card resonates really well with the 2 King of Cups. I feel like this is talking about how instead of intellectualize everything, you might want to leave a little bit more room for a healthy amount of emotions for them to come through. And let's see what else here. Spirit, anything else for my dear group number 1? We have, I maintain alignment with my source energy. Yeah, exactly. I think when you're making this decision, you're definitely being called to think about what brings you the most amount of joy, what brings you the most amount of alignment. Instead of staying in your head, I feel like you're being called to open up your heart more and to really embrace new possibilities in the situation if possible. So that's what I'm seeing here, my dear group number 1. And that's all the messages I have for you today. Well, thank you so much for being here, for supporting me, for sharing your energy with me. I really appreciate your presence. Please, if you did resonate with this reading, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel so that you'll never miss a reading that I upload in the future. And if you do have any specific readings, specific topics that you would love to see more of on my channel, please leave those in the comment section down below as well. I'll definitely take them into considerations as I'm trying to come up with a more consistent uploading schedule. Thank you again, and please take good care of yourself. I hope to see you again very, very soon in the next reading. Bye-bye! Hey loves, if you have chosen the Vow card along with this piece of yellow aventurine, then this is going to be the shuffling process for you. Welcome. Well, first off, I just want to say thank you for being here with me, for sharing your energy with me. As I always say, I do like keeping my shuffling process on camera just so that I can have some extra time to ground myself and to tune myself into your group's energy. So I really appreciate your presence with me here. Now, like I said in the intro, I'm going to be pulling tarot cards for your option A and option B to figure out the potential opportunities, the challenges, and the possible outcomes. Now, let's start off with your option A. So for my dear group number 2, option A, what opportunities would be available to my dear group number 2 if they were to choose option A? What opportunities? Oops. Okay, so those two came out really fast. How about challenges? What kind of challenges are my dear group number 2s likely to face? Oops. If they were to choose option A. Okay. How about the potential outcomes? What would be the potential outcome if my group number 2s are to choose option A? Okay. So, all right. Let's now move on to option B here. So let's see. For option B, what would be the opportunities if my group number 2s are to choose option B? What opportunities are going to be available to my group number 2s if they were to choose option B? What opportunities would become available to my group number 2s here if they were to choose option B, please, Spirit? All right. How about challenges? So what challenges? Okay. Got 2 here. How about the potential outcomes for option B, please? The potential outcomes for option B. All right. All right. So my dear group number 2, as you can see here, all your cards are shuffled and laid out. Now let's get right into your reading. Hey, my dear group number 2, if you have chosen the Vow card along with this piece of yellow aventurine, then this is going to be the reading portion for you. Welcome. Well, first off, let's talk about the card that you were drawn to at the very beginning, the Vow. So this is one of those cards that really kind of reminds me of the Justice card within tarot. So it's all about fair trade, about giving and receiving, about contracting, about making a promise to someone and keeping to that promise. So I feel like if you're asking about a work-related situation, this might be a very fitting reading for you. Or not necessarily about work, but any situations that require a contract to be signed. I feel like this might be the right reading for you. So please keep on watching. I'm not sure what situation you're asking specifically here, but I feel like this might has to do with the idea of fairness. So let's take a look at each of your options first. With option A, let's take a look at your potential opportunities and your challenges. Oops. Ooh, we have the Justice card. Oh my gosh, as a challenge too. Interesting. Okay, how about the potential outcome for option A? All right, so with the option A here, let's take a look and see if you can see all the cards. Yeah, okay. So with option A, your opportunities are 3 of Cups and the Judgment card coming out in the reverse. Interesting. So group 1 got Judgment card in the upright as a challenge, and you got it in reverse but as an opportunity. I think that's very interesting. So for me personally, I read the Judgment card as renewal, as engendering a new hope after a long journey. So it's a renewal of hope after a long journey, after a lot of hard work that has been done. And when it's reversed, it gives a sense of nostalgia. At least that's how I read this card. I'm sure different readers might have different opinions, but for me personally, when Judgment card is in reverse, I think about the past. I think about the things that happened in the past that might have been really, really meaningful and impactful for you. So, and with this card coming out with the Three of Cups, this is overall giving me Six of Cups vibes. This is kind of giving me childhood best friend or childhood sweetheart. It's like a community that you used to be a part of, that you used to be really fond of, or a community that you have been longing for, if that's the right word. I think the opportunity here is for you to find, I want to say the opportunity here is for you to find your soul family, because Three of Cups, this card, especially in this particular deck, this is a Light Seers deck. I really like when I take a look at this imagery, like honestly, like soul family just pops up in my head. And I feel like for you guys, my dear group number 2s, this might be an opportunity for you to reconcile with certain people from your past and to rekindle, whether it's friendship or love or compassion, whatever it is, to rekindle some form of connection with this old community or this old person. But I do feel like this is in the plural. Like I feel like it's not necessarily one singular person. It could be in the plurals. Because I feel like the Three of Cups really just gives me that sort of community, family kind of vibes. Whereas the challenges here are interesting as well. You've got the Four of Swords coming out in the upright and the Justice card coming out in the upright. It's almost like you're going to be struggling putting something to rest. And in this case, there might be residual resentment. There might be feelings of unfairness that are lingering in the situation if you were to choose option A. And it's going to be really difficult for you to put those feelings to rest. And that's going to be the challenge for you, my dear group number 2. And I honestly, if you've chosen this group and you're open to sharing your experience, I would really, really be curious to see what the situation is and what the options are for you, because this is a very different type of energy. Because when I saw the vow card, my first reaction was, oh, this might be a job-related situation. This might be a contract-related situation, which it still might be, but I'm getting, overall, I'm just getting really nostalgic vibes for some reason, and it's not very professional. It doesn't feel very professional. So if this is a work situation, maybe you've been working for your employer for a number of years, and there might be people that you really, really care about in your workplace or something like that, because it feels really personal. And it goes way beyond a simple professional contract here. That's what I'm sensing. And I feel like even with the Justice card here, I'm getting less of that contracty vibes. I'm getting more of it's more like the feeling of being fair. That's what I'm sensing, which is very interesting. So yeah, I would be really curious to see what the situation is and how this might play out for you, my dear group number 2s, if you're open to sharing, of course. And in terms of the potential outcomes for you, if you were to choose option A, we have the Emperor card and the 5 of Cups coming out in the reverse. So with the 5 of Cups coming out in the reverse, I feel like there's been I'm hearing bad blood. So there might have been a situation in the past that was less than desirable in this case, and you will be trying to let it go if you were to choose option A. So it's almost like you're letting go of a heartbreak. You're letting go of a situation that no longer serves you if you were to choose option A. And with the Emperor here, this is someone who is very structured, who has a lot of authority. And in this case, I almost feel called to say that this might be a person that you're choosing, or this might be a third party that you're choosing. And I'm feeling called to mention that this Emperor figure here, he has a tattoo with the key of life. And I'm not sure if that symbol holds a certain level of significance for some of you. I just really feel called to mention that out loud. So yeah, if that does hold significance for you, and if you're open to sharing, please leave a comment down below. That'd be really cool. But what I want to say is that you are choosing a path that will lead you to more structures. You will be choosing a path that will lead you to more success. And with the Emperor, this is divine masculine energy. This is someone who's not afraid of using their abilities, of using their skills to create, to manifest. And this is also a person with a lot of authority who keeps to their promise. And that's what I'm hearing. So you're keeping to your promise. You're keeping your promise to someone or something. And you're choosing to do the right thing. That's what I'm hearing. And by whose standard? I think it's by your own standard. You're choosing to do the right thing, like by your own intrinsic standard. So that's what I'm seeing here in terms of the potential outcomes with option A. It is definitely very interesting. Like I'm just so curious to see what exactly is going on for this particular group. Yeah, all right. So that's option A here. Now let's take a look at option B. So for option B, if you were to choose option B, what kind of opportunities can you look out for? And we have the 4 of Wands and the 2 of Cups in the upright. For challenges, we have the King of Swords in the reverse and Justice in the upright. Interesting. We got Justice in the upright and in the same position as well. So interesting. And for the outcome, we got the Hanged One in the reverse and the Knight of Swords in the upright. Okay, so with option B here, I don't usually read the Three of Cups in this way, but I feel like in some cases this might be relevant. I'm not sure if this is a third party situation, because I usually would not read Three of Cups as a third party situation, but when you got Two of Cups and the Four of Wands here as the opportunities coming out in option B, with the Three of Cups here, I feel like this might be of relevance for some of you. So I'm just gonna throw that out there. But if it's not relevant, then just let it go. It's not meant for you. So for the Four of Wands and the Two of Cups, if you're asking about a relationship, these are really, really positive cards to come out. And Four of Wands could literally be a wedding, because it's a celebration of some kind. And the Two of Cups as well, like two people coming together, balancing each other out, or a soulmate reunion, all that sort of good stuff. So with the Four of Wands and the Two of Cups, you're definitely coming into union with someone or something. If you were to choose option B, there is a really palpable opportunity for you there in terms of what you can expect out of option B. And I feel like compared to option A, like this option is giving me more of a like new energy vibes. If option A was kind of more nostalgic, I feel like option B is like giving a lot of like new energies sort of vibes. And with the Four of Wands, this could be again a celebration. If this has nothing to do with romantic partnerships whatsoever, I feel like this could still be talking about you coming into union with something that you really, really desire. This is you coming into union with something that you really want for yourself. And it's likely that this is something that you've been wanting for a very long time as well. So you've been putting a lot of work into getting this particular thing, manifesting it into your life. And I feel like the opportunity for you here, my dear group number 2, if you were to choose option B, is that you might have the opportunity to come into union with this new energy that you have been trying to manifest for yourself. And it's like I'm also hearing open communications. So you might be expecting to hear from someone, and you might be waiting to hear news about, say, like a certain job placement. And with option B, it is possible that good news is on the way. It is possible for you to receive exactly what you want. This is like a really positive kind of energy here for you. There is at least an opportunity for you to get exactly what it is that you want. Now, with the challenges, with the potential challenges, it's interesting how you also got Justice card. So I definitely feel like justice or promise is something that's very central to the whole situation. It's like you might have made a promise to yourself or to other people. And I think what hangs in balance here with option A versus option B, I think it's the same thing. It's like doing what you feel is the right thing to do. Choosing to do the thing that fulfills you. Choosing to do the thing that speaks to your heart, that holds your truth. And I feel like with the Justice card here, it also could be about being truthful about a certain situation. With the King of Swords coming out in the reverse, this could be talking about someone being deceitful, someone being sneaky about their intentions, being manipulative. And I feel like the challenge here might be you keeping a clear head, you keeping that line of communication open to make sure that whatever transpires between you and this other party is coming from the right perspective, is coming from the right point of view. That's what I'm hearing. And I feel like this is as much of a caution, as much of a warning that you might run into deceit in the situation if you were to choose option B. There is a possibility that someone might not be truthful if you were to choose option B. And that someone could be another person, another party involved in the situation, or it could even be you going back on your own words, not being truthful to yourself more than to other people. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of challenges for you, my dear group number 2, in case you choose option B. And for option B here, the results or the potential outcomes, we have the Hanged One coming out in the reverse and the Knight of Swords coming out in the upright. Now, the Hanged One coming out in the reverse, I almost feel a sense of frustration, of stagnancy, of being held down somewhere that you're not liking, essentially. And with the Knight of Swords, this is a situation that's mostly in your head. So I feel like if you were to choose option B, there is a possibility that you might be overthinking this whole thing. And the situation might become a little bit overbearing, and you might even feel very restricted because of the situation when it comes to your own thinking. Like, your way of approaching the situation might eventually make you feel restricted. So that's what I'm seeing here in terms of the potential outcome. So be very careful with what you choose, because I definitely feel like this is a high stake kind of situation, whatever you're asking about. And with the Justice card, with 2 Justice cards centering your reading, I feel like this is really about karma. So like, I just want to say be careful with whatever you choose to do, because you don't want to start a bad karmic cycle. That's the last thing you want. So that's what I'm seeing. That's all the messages that I have here in terms of your option A and option B. Now, before we go, I want to shuffle an oracle deck and see if Spirit has any additional guidance and or advice for you, my dear group number 2. Now let's see. So Spirit, what additional guidance? Oops. All right. Let's see here. We have, I seek beauty everywhere I go, within everyone and everything I see. Interesting. Anything else, please, Spirit? We have, I have no expectations and make no assumptions. And let's get one more, please, Spirit. One more for my dear group number 2. Yeah. We have, I am at peace with my past. Yeah. So definitely with that last card here, I'm at peace with my past. You are in the precipice of manifesting healing from your past. You are definitely on the right path in terms of potentially letting go of what happened in the past and embracing new energies and new possibilities in the future. And I feel like you're being called to do that. So like choose whatever option that allows you to be at peace with your past. That's one thing. And with this, I have no expectations and make no assumptions. I feel like this is about you communicating with this other person or other party involved in the situation, because expectations and assumptions, they can sometimes be very harmful when it comes to communicating with each other truthfully, because not every time everyone's going to be on the same page. And when people are not on the same page, expectations and assumptions can be just very detrimental to honest communications. And I think that's what the universe is cautioning you against. And with the I seek beauty everywhere I go, within everyone and everything I see, you're being called to really see the light in the situation, even though this might be a very difficult situation. You're being called to see how this situation might be teaching you something, how you might be learning from the situation and gaining personal growth from the situation. And that's what I'm seeing in terms of the additional guidance and advice for you, my dear group number 2. And I believe that's all the messages that I have for you today. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me. I really, really appreciate your presence. And please, if you did resonate with the reading, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you'll never miss a reading that I upload in the future. And also, if there is any specific readings, specific topics that you would love to see more of on my channel, please leave those in the comment section down below, and I will for sure take your recommendations into considerations as I'm trying to come up with a more consistent uploading schedule. So all that being said, please take very good care of yourself, and I hope to see you again very, very soon in the next reading. Bye-bye! Hey loves, if you have chosen the Destroyer card along with this piece of amethyst, then this is going to be the shuffling process for you. Welcome. Well, first off, I just want to say thank you for being here, for sharing your energy with me. As I always say, I do like keeping my shuffling process on camera just so that I can get some extra time to ground myself and to immerse myself into your group's energy. So first off, for today, let's start off with some tarot cards to see what exactly you will experience if you were to choose option A, my dear group number 3. So what kind of opportunities would be available if you were to choose option A? Oops. Let's see, what opportunities would be available to you if you were to choose option A, please, Spirit. Okay, we got one. Let's take another one. What opportunities would be available if you were to choose option A? There we go. So what challenges would you be facing if you were to choose option A? What challenges would you be facing? If you were to choose option A. would be the potential outcome for you if you were to choose option A? What would be the potential outcome if you were to choose option A? Let's take one more. What would be the potential outcome if you were to choose option A? So there we go. And let's move on to option B. So what would be the potential opportunities if my group number 3 were to choose option B? What would be the potential opportunities available if they were to choose option B? How about the challenge? What would be the potential challenge if they were to choose option B? What would be the potential challenge if they were to choose? Oops. We had a mini deck explosion, but I'm not going to take all of them. Option B. How about the potential outcomes for option B? What would be the potential outcome if they were to choose option B, please, Spirit? What would be the potential outcome if they were to choose option B? Alright, there we go. As you can see here, my dear group number 3, all your cards are shuffled and laid out. Now let's get right into your reading. Hi, my dear group number 3. If you have chosen the Destroyer card along with this piece of amethyst, then this is going to be the reading portion for you. Welcome. Well, first off, let's talk about the card that you guys were drawn to at the very beginning, the Destroyer. So this card gives off the Tower vibe. So if you're familiar with tarot, then you would have known that there is a phrase, the Tower moment, that readers use frequently to describe when something abruptly happens and kind of pulls the rug from underneath your feet. And this is a moment when something significant happens that changes your perspective about life. And I feel like this Destroyer card is kind of resonating with that kind of Tower energy. So that's Mars energy. That's very decisive action. And just overall, it can be a little bit destructive. And I'm not sure what situation you're asking about here, but there seems to be an ending of some sort that's coming. Because in the guidebook, I remember reading about this card, and it talked about how this is the part of us that's wanting an end, that's wanting to put an end to things. And this is an archetype that each of us has. Like we all have this energy within us. It just depends on whether it's being allowed to come out. And I feel like this might be your time to let the Destroyer energy come out, if that makes sense for you. Now, let's take a look at your option A first to see what kind of opportunities, what kind of challenges and outcomes would be available for you. So, let's take a look at your cards. All right. So with the opportunities here associated with option A, you have the World card along with the Three of Swords coming out in the reverse. So the World card, I usually associate this with public recognition. It's a sense of fulfillment. It's a sense of achievement. And I feel like this opportunity here for you is to get over a past heartbreak and be publicly recognized for what you're good at. With the Three of Swords coming out in the reverse, I feel like there is a heartache, there is a heartbreak about something. So something that you might not used to be good at, that's coming, that used to hurt you deeply. And now you're letting that go. You're leveling up and you are ready to be seen in the public eye in some way, shape, or form. Now, what would be a good example here is that, for example, let's say you used to be very unfamiliar with how things are done at work when you first joined a company. And now, after months or years of practice, you have accumulated so much experience to the point where you can accomplish the tasks even with your eyes closed. And now is the time for you to let go of the old insecurities that you used to have about not knowing what's going on at work. And instead, now you're the most senior or the most experienced person on the team. And you are being recognized, you're being promoted for that reason. And that's an example that I can think of. Like, obviously, whatever you were asking might not be relevant to a work situation, but this is an example that just popped up in my head, and I just felt like sharing that. And at the same time, with the Destroyer card, because I do feel like there is an ending of some sort, you're putting an end to something. So with the opportunities available to you here with option A, I feel like you're putting an end to the heartbreak, to the betrayal, to whatever the situation might used to be like that was not serving you anymore. You're putting an end to that. And you're embracing a new opportunity for you to be recognized for the things that you can do. So that's what I'm seeing here with the World card, along with the Three of Swords coming out in the reverse. That's the opportunity that I see here associated with option A. Now, with the challenge, it's interesting how you got the Four of Swords, which is a resting card, as a challenge. So with the Destroyer, I feel like, again, this is reminiscent of Mars energy, of quick action, decisive action. And when you have the Four of Swords coming out as a challenge, I almost feel like this is talking about how you might not have enough time to rest. That's going to be a challenge for you. You might not have enough time to contemplate on your action. And that's going to be a challenge for you associated with option A. With the Page of Wands, this is someone who is incredibly passionate about what they do, who also might be a little bit naive. So I definitely feel like if you were to choose option A, there is a sense that you are diving headfirst into something. And the challenge for you is to keep yourself on track with whatever the plan is, to keep going even after that initial rush of adrenaline. And at the same time, to keep doing the thing that you're supposed to do consistently. So that's what I'm seeing here with the Four of Swords coming out in the upright, along with the Page of Wands coming out in the upright. And talking about resting, there is also a sense that you might be almost a little bit too passionate about what you're doing to the point where you don't give yourself enough time to recuperate. You don't give yourself enough time to rest in between. And you're just gonna end up feeling very exhausted. Like your passion's gonna almost feel like it's depleted if you don't give yourself enough time to rest. Let's say like you're really into doing tarot readings for other people, but at least for me, like I cannot be doing readings every single day. Like I need time to rest in between, and I need time to live my life so that I can learn more things from life and utilize my knowledge in my tarot readings. And I feel like this might be a challenge for you if you were to choose option A. So that's what I'm seeing here with the challenges. And last but not least, the potential outcome. We've got the Ace of Pentacles coming out in reverse and the Six of Wands coming out in the upright. So with the Six of Wands here, first off, that's really resonating with the World card, because both of these cards can be about public recognition. So I definitely think whatever it is that you're doing, you're gonna get recognition from other people. You are going to be seen on a bigger platform. You're going to be recognized for what it is that you do. And that's a brilliant, brilliant outcome. And with the Ace of Pentacles coming out in reverse, I feel like this might be talking about you letting go of a certain opportunity. So when you're choosing one option versus another, you're always kind of trying to decide between the pros and cons, between the gains and the losses. And I feel like with option A here, it is a brilliant opportunity for you to let go of old energy and embracing this new energy of you leveling up. But at the same time, you might be letting go of another opportunity that's going to lead you towards a different path. So going back to the example that I shared earlier about you working for a certain company at a certain job for a very long time, there might be an opportunity for you to switch to a different role or a different company, but you might end up with option A, you might end up deciding that you want to keep leveling yourself up in the current company. You might not decide to switch off to a different company. So there is a sense that you're letting go of a certain opportunity, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a negative thing, because there are an abundance of opportunities for you out there, and you have to pick and choose the one that works best for you. And I feel like in option A, you are choosing one thing and letting go of another. And that's going to be the outcome for you. Well, at the same time, you're also going to get recognition. You're going to get public recognition for what it is that you do. So overall, still a very positive outcome. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of your option A. Now let's move on to option B. So for option B, let's see what kind of opportunities are going to be available for you. We have the Seven of Cups and the King of Pentacles. And for the challenges, we have the Three of Wands and the Three of Pentacles in reverse. And for the outcome, we have the King of Swords coming out in reverse and the Knight of Pentacles coming out in reverse. Interesting. Okay, so with the option B, I feel like this is a little bit less targeted. Like if option A is like you being laser focused on a specific thing that you're trying to achieve, with option B, with the Seven of Cups here, I feel like this is you kind of shopping around for the best opportunity that's best suited for you. Because Seven of Cups is all about making choices, making decisions when there is an abundance of options out there for you. So with option B, I feel like you're going to have a lot of freedom to choose what it is that you want, what it is that's best suited for you. And it goes a long way when you're choosing from this variety of options, with the King of Pentacles coming out in the upright. I feel like you might be embodying this King of Pentacles energy, as in you will be deciding where to put your energy. You'll be deciding where to invest your money, where to invest your resources, where you want to invest your time and energy to doing something. So there is more of a sense of autonomy. There's more of a sense of being in a ruling position, being in a authoritative position in regards to your own life. So taking control of the situation and deciding amongst a plural of different options. That's what I'm seeing in terms of the opportunity for you in option B. But also in option B, you have the challenges coming out with the Three of Wands in the upright and the Three of Pentacles in reverse. So I think in a way, when there is more autonomy, there might be a little bit less collaboration, because that's what the Three of Pentacles is about. And when the Three of Pentacles coming out in reverse, is coming out in reverse here in your reading, I feel like there might be less of a chance of you collaborating with someone or something, or just like in general, like there is going to be less of a sense of collaboration within you and your environment, because you'll be more autonomous. You will be a little bit more independent when it comes to choosing the best option for you. And as I was saying that, the camera timer flashed 33. So if you've been seeing 33 everywhere you go, this might be a confirmation for you. And we have 3 and 3 here with the Three of Wands and the Three of Pentacles. Now, with the Three of Wands coming out in the upright as a challenge, I feel like there might be a challenge for you in terms of your growth. So with the Three of Wands, this is a card that talks about traveling far and beyond. that talks about adventure, expansion. And when this card come out as a challenge, I feel like in option B, you might be losing a little bit of that adventurous drive that you have. That was very evident in option A. So it's like you're probably going to be in a more secure position with the King of Pentacles. You're probably going to feel much more secured about your position in life, but at the same time, you're losing a little bit of that very adventurous, very driven element of yours that would allow you to keep growing on a personal level. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of the challenges for you in option B. Now, for option B, with the results here, we got the King of Swords coming out in the reverse, and the Champion of Coins, and that's the Knight of Pentacles coming out in the reverse here. It is interesting because you got two kings here with the King of Swords and the King of Pentacles, and with the King of Swords coming out in the reverse, this could be an energy that feels a little bit disoriented. So this is someone who's taken their intellects a little bit too far. So this might be someone who follows their intellectual pursuits while kind of ignoring their spiritual nature. So this might be, so the potential outcome here might look like you going according to a certain plan, you sticking to your plan, while kind of ignoring what your heart truly desires and ignoring your sense of intuition. And with the Knight of Pentacles, I feel like this is kind of not a failed investment, but like you have been investing your time and energy in something, but later on it turns out that it is actually not something that you want. So I think this card coming out in the reverse goes very nicely with the King of Swords coming out in the reverse, because this seems to be you focusing on executing a plan, well, at the end, feeling like, oh, actually, this plan is not for me. Feeling like you have misinvested your time and energy. So I definitely feel like you're being cautioned here with option B to really think through your plan and to really think through what it is that you want before starting off pursuing that thing that you're so driven after. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of your option B. Now, I think that's all the messages I have for you in terms of your option A and option B. And before we go, I'm going to shuffle another oracle deck to see if Spirit has any additional guidance and or advice for you, my dear group number 3. So let's see here. For my dear group number 3, what guidance and or advice do you have for my dear group number 3, please, Spirit? All right. We have, I am at peace with my past. Yeah, definitely. There is a sense that you are leveling up, that you are putting an end to something. And we have, I trust my inner voice. Yeah, so there is definitely a call for you to trust your inner voice more, to trust your intuition instead of simply intellectualizing everything. And let's see what else. One more, please, Spirit. Oops. Well, I guess we got two more for you. One just dropped onto the floor. Let me pick that up. We have, I forgive myself and set myself free. And we have, I am mindful at all times and live only within each moment I have. Okay, let's make sure they're all in frame. Yes, they are. So I feel like there is a really strong call for you to follow your intuition and to let go of the past. That's for sure. And even with this, I forgive myself and set myself free. I feel like this is Spirit talking about letting go of a past energy and setting yourself free from the past so that you can pursue this new opportunity with all you have. And you're also being called to live in the moment instead of thinking too much. So like, I feel like this is definitely my group of overthinkers. My dear group number 3, like you are probably a group that's highly intellectual, but at the same time might tend to overthink. And I feel like Spirit's advice is just for you to, I know this is easier said than done, but sometimes quit overthinking and live in the moment, enjoy the moment, and let go of your past and embrace what you have right now so that you can welcome in the future. So that's what I'm seeing here, my dear group number 3. And I believe that's all the messages that I have for you. Thank you so much for being here, for sharing your energy with me. I really do appreciate your presence. If you did resonate with this reading, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so that you'll never miss a reading that I upload in the future. And please, if you do have any specific readings, specific topics that you would love to see more of, please leave those down below in the comment section, and I will for sure take your recommendations into consideration as I have been trying to come up with a more consistent uploading schedule. Well, thank you again. Please take very good care of yourself, and I hope to see you again very soon in the next reading. Bye! Hey loves, if you have chosen the Kairos card along with this piece of sodalite, then this is going to be the shuffling process for you. Welcome. Well, first off, I just want to say thank you for being here, for sharing your energy with me. I really do appreciate your presence. As I always say, I do like keeping my shuffling process on camera just so that I can have some extra time to ground myself and to immerse myself into your group's energy. So I really do appreciate you being here with me. Now, let's take a look at your option A first with tarot to see what kind of opportunities would be available if you were to choose option A. So for my dear group number 4, what opportunities would be available if they were to choose option A? What kind of opportunities would be available if they were to choose? Oops. So we got 2 already. So what challenges would they be facing if they were to choose option A, please, Spirit? Let's see. Let's get one more for challenges. Oh, well, I guess we're getting 2 more. Not sure if they're all gonna fit, but we're gonna figure that out later. Let's take a look at the potential outcome. And we've got one here, and let's take another for the potential outcome. Let's get one more, please, Spirit, for the potential outcome. Right. All right. Okay, now let's move on to your option B, my dear group number 4. For option B, what would be the potential opportunities? So we have these two. How about the challenges that you'll be facing? For my dear group number 4, what kind of challenges would they be facing if they were to choose option B? What kind of challenges would they be facing? Oops. It's interesting how for the opportunities for both options, they all came out very fast, but the challenges are taking a bit of time. So maybe patience would be one of the challenges. It's interesting, we got 2 cards here as well, so I guess we'll have 3 cards for the challenges for each of the options. And let's take a look at the outcome. So what would be the potential outcome? All right, there we go. Okay. All right. So my dear group number 4, as you can see here, all your cards are shuffled and laid out. Now let's get right into your reading. Hey, my dear group number 4, if you have chosen the Kairos card along with this piece of blue sodalite, then this is going to be the reading portion for you. Welcome. Well, as you can see here, something looks a little bit different. Well, if you stayed for the shuffling process, then you would know that we actually got 3 cards for the challenges for each of the options. So we got 3 cards here for option A and 3 cards here for option B. And we're just gonna figure out how we're gonna fit everything into the frame. But, well, first off, let's talk about the card that you were drawn to at the very beginning, Kairos. This is a card that I particularly like within this oracle deck. It talks about synchronicity and divine timing. So this is a significant moment in your life when something fundamentally shifts. And it could be it could be a moment of, I feel called to mention, like marriage, or it could be something being lost or someone being lost, like losing a loved one. It could be just anything, or a new birth, or just anything significant that fundamentally changes the way that you view the world. So that's Kairos. And I feel like you might be asking about such an important moment in your life. I'm not sure what exactly it is that you're asking about, or what these options stand for, but let's just take a look at your option A and quickly dive into what we have here. So with option A, your opportunities are the Four of Wands and the Two of Pentacles coming out in the reverse. With the challenges here, let's see how we're gonna place the cards. We have the Eight of Swords in reverse, the Three of Swords in reverse, and the Ace of Swords in reverse. Yeah, you can kind of see them. I'll just put them there. And for the potential outcome, we have the Lovers card and the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah. Okay. So for option A here, well, first off, with the opportunities, we have the Four of Wands, and that's arguably one of the happiest card within tarot. And this is talking about a celebration, a union of some kind. And I feel like this might be talking about you coming into union with your higher self, or you coming into union with your true self. Because the Two of Pentacles, when it's reversed, I think about singularity. It's like there is a singular focus with whatever it is that you're doing, with whatever it is that you're currently asking. And with the Four of Wands, this is, I'm not getting a sense that this is about, actually no, like I take that back. I'm getting a sense that this is fundamentally, this is about you. Like, there could be other people involved. There could be other parties involved in the situation that you're asking. But fundamentally, I feel like this is about you. And the Four of Wands here might be talking about your own happiness. It's like you will have an opportunity to make yourself really, really happy with the Four of Wands here. And with the Two of Pentacles in reverse, it's like you are prioritizing one thing over another. And in this case, it might be that you are prioritizing your own need, your own self-care over other people's need. And that doesn't necessarily have to be something that's selfish, like, because ultimately, I think in life, we all need to prioritize ourselves in a healthy way, obviously. But ultimately, we are all here on our own journeys. And sometimes, in order for us to fulfill our highest potential, we just need to prioritize ourselves over other things in life. So that's what I'm seeing here in terms of the opportunity. I'm seeing that you will have an opportunity to prioritize yourself over other things in your life. And it is ultimately your decision. It is ultimately your responsibility, even, to make yourself happy with the Four of Wands. And I think it is also interesting that with the challenges, you have Three Swords card all coming out in the reverse, with the Ace of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and the Three of Swords. And there is definitely a lot of overthinking going on here. So again, like, I'm not sure if you were also drawn by group number 3, but I was just talking about how I felt like that was a group with a lot of highly intellectual individuals who are also overthinkers. And I feel like with your group, it's kind of similar vibes, where you must be a very intelligent individual, but you're also highly prone to overthinking. So with the Ace of Swords, it's like you're not sure if you're making the right decision. With this card coming out in reverse, I feel like you're doubting. There is a risk that you might doubt yourself. You might not be sure whether you're doing the right thing. And that goes really hand in hand with the Eight of Swords coming out in reverse. It's like you are trying to liberate yourself from a dilemma. You're trying to liberate yourself from a very tricky situation, but you're also not sure if you're doing this in the right way. And with the Three of Swords coming out in the mix, it's like you are thinking this way because you have been burned before. You're thinking you're not sure about yourself because maybe in the past you have made a similar mistake. You have made a mistake in a similar situation that might be more suitable. It's like you have probably made a decision in a similar situation, but things might not turn out the way they should, or things might not have turned out the way you thought they would. And because of that, now you're feeling very trapped. You're feeling like you're not sure whether you're making the right decision for yourself. And that's going to be a challenge for you. Like all of these thoughts, these like basically essentially a thinking overload, like this overload is going to be the challenge that you will be facing if you were to choose option A in this case. But let's take a look at the potential outcome. We have the Lovers card coming out in the upright and the Eight of Pentacles coming out in the upright. So I think this is an opportunity for you to work on yourself with the Eight of Pentacles. It's like you are really focused on leveling yourself up. You're really focused on improving your life versus other things. And the potential outcome for option A is like really, there is a focus on yourself. And that's a good thing. With the Lovers, the Lovers is a card about making decisions, about making choices as well. And I feel like ultimately, if you were to choose option A, you're gonna feel like you made the right decision, at least for yourself. You're gonna feel like you made the best decision that you could with all the information that you have. And you're going to feel like this decision is helping you in the path of your self-growth. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of the outcome of option A. Now let's take a look at your option B here. So with option B, the potential opportunities are the Apprentice of Coins. That's the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Wands. We have the Death card coming out in the upright for the challenges, and we have Temperance coming out in the reverse, and the King of Cups coming out. So yeah, I think you can kind of see them. And for the potential outcome, we have the King of Pentacles coming out in the upright and the Five of Wands coming out in the upright. Okay. So if you were to choose option B, let's take a look at the potential opportunities here. You have the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Pentacles, this is about you growing something This is about you investing your time and energy into something and waiting for it to grow. The Knight of Pentacles is also the slowest moving knight within tarot. And it's usually when I see this card, I think about hard work ahead of you. And with the Knight of Wands as well, this is a battle-worn soldier who has been wounded, but still holding on, like holding to his ground. So I feel like there is going to be a lot of hard work for you if you were to choose option B. And it's going to take a long time for something to come to fruition. That's what I'm seeing in terms of the opportunity. This is, but you're also making something concrete. I keep hearing you're building something from the ground up. So that might be something that you'll be doing if you were to choose option B. And it's going to take you a fair amount of time and energy so that you can really build that thing. And it's going to take a lot of resilience for you to keep on going with the plan if you were to go with option B. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of the opportunity. And I definitely feel like for option B here, there is going to be a significant challenge for you in terms of your growth. Because we have the Death card coming out in the upright with the King of Cups coming out in the upright, along with the Temperance card coming out in the reverse as your challenge. And with all three cards here, I think it's like you got two major arcana and you got one court card. So this path is not going to be easy for sure. So with option B, the Death card, I feel like this is talking about you letting go of the past and welcoming in the new. And this is about you allowing yourself to metamorphosize, allowing yourself to grow out of your old skin. And with the King of Cups here, this is someone who is extremely well-versed in their own emotions. This is someone who's in touch with their own emotions, in touch with their intuition, and is not afraid of showing their emotions either. And I feel like for you, my dear group number 4, that's going to be a significant challenge for you to listen to your own emotions, to sometimes let go of control and instead live in the moment, to let go of the past and live in the present. And with the Temperance card coming out in the reverse, there's also a sense of impatience. Because when I was shuffling the cards, I noticed that for both options, actually, when I was shuffling for challenges, the cards were taking longer than usual to come out. And I made a comment about how I feel like patience might be a consistent challenge throughout the two different options for you. And I think it's especially true if you were to choose option B. It's going to take a lot of patience, because even with the opportunity here, we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands, and that's already talking about an energy that's long run. That's talking about an energy that's going to take time to gain momentum. And I feel like the challenge here for you is really to keep yourself being patient, to keep being patient with the things that you are doing, to keep being patient with yourself, most importantly, because you might feel like you're not accomplishing anything with the option B. You might feel like your time and energy are better invested elsewhere halfway through. this option, and you might be denying yourself, excuse me, you might be denying yourself the opportunity to grow personally. And that's both intellectually speaking and emotionally speaking. So that's what I'm seeing here in terms of the challenge for you, my dear group number 4. Now, for option B, let's take a look at the potential outcome. We have the King of Pentacles as well as the Five of Wands. So with the Five of Wands here, I feel like this card, I always read it as competing priorities. It's like there is an inner conflict of some sort. So with the King of Pentacles, this is someone who is very set in their ways. This is someone who's very grounded and who's not afraid of making decisive decisions. But with the Five of Wands here, I feel like there might be multiple things on your plate. If you were to choose option B, there might be multiple things needing attention. And therefore, as this King of Pentacles, you are needed everywhere, essentially. So it's like you're going to be very busy with whatever it is that you have committed yourself to. And there's going to be a variety of different things demanding your attention as this King of Pentacles. But at the same time, you're going to be very well established. I love how you have the Knight of Pentacles as the opportunity and the King of Pentacles as the outcome. So there is a level up of some sort. So this is like guaranteed success, but this success is going to take you a very long time, and it's going to take you a lot of energy, a lot of resilience, a lot of patience. It's not going to be an easy task for you to transform from the Knight to the King. And that's what I'm seeing here. And even when you are leveling up, like once you are embodying the energy of this King of Pentacles, you're still going to be having competing priorities. You're still going to be having multiple things that's asking for your attention. And that's what I'm seeing in terms of the potential outcome for option B. And I think that's all the messages that I have for you, my dear group number 4, in terms of your option A and option B. And before we go here, I did want to shuffle another oracle deck to see if Spirit has any additional guidance and or advice for you. So, Spirit, for my dear group number 4, what additional guidance and or advice do you have for my dear group number 4 here? So we have, I am a vibrational match to all that I desire. So you're definitely manifesting something big, a big moment into your life. Let's see what else here. We have, I do not have to prove myself to anyone, and that's really beautiful energy. Oh, so your group got 4 cards as well. We got 2 cards that flip over. Let's take a look. I radiate love and gratitude, and I open my heart to love. These 2 cards actually jumped out together. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Wow. So, my dear group number 4, I feel like Spirit is definitely saying that you have what it takes to manifest what you want. You have exactly what you need at hand. You have the tools, you have the skills, you have the resources needed to manifest what you want. And with this, I don't have to prove myself to anyone. I feel like this is addressing that overthinking energy that we saw earlier when we're talking about your option A. So it's like, you don't have to justify your action. You don't have to justify your choice to anybody. You just have to be okay with whatever it is that you decide to do. And you're going to have to be okay with exactly what the outcome might be. And that's the responsibility that you have for yourself, but you don't have to prove yourself. You don't have to justify yourself to other people. That's something that you do not need to concern yourself with. And last but not least, with this, I radiate love and gratitude, and I open my heart to love. I feel like this is spirit calling out to you, saying that you should, or in order for you to make the most of the situation, be a little bit more open with your emotions. Be in that energy of love and gratitude, because those energies, they are going to help you heal and just achieve that inner healing that's much needed for you. And that's what I'm seeing in terms of the additional guidance and advice for you, my dear group number 4. Well, and I believe that's all the messages that I have for you today. Well, thank you so much for being here, for sharing with me your energy. I really, really do appreciate your presence. If you did resonate with this reading, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel so that you'll never miss a reading that I upload in the future. And please, if you do have any specific readings, specific topics that you would love to see more of, please leave those down below in the comment section as well. I will definitely take your recommendations into considerations, as I've been trying to come up with a more consistent uploading schedule myself as well. Thank you so much for being here, and please take very good care of yourself. I hope to see you again very soon in the next reading. Bye!